Hello, brothers of the internets, and welcome to the first episode of Gravel Circuit Time Trial. As you can see, the sign over there, Gravel Circuit or Off-Road Circuit. We're not going in the Off-Road Circuit, so we're fine there. Anyway, this is a car I've built that we're going to start off with. They're not all going to be my cars. However, it is basically a junior supercar. It makes upwards of 500 horsepower, and it has all-wheel drive from a twin-turbo 3.8 litre V6, similar to one you might find in the Nissan 370Z sports car. So if we can turn the lights off. Also, I don't know how it's chrome. This car was, I think, red. However, it somehow ended up being chrome. So, you know, that's what we're dealing with. The tyres are fairly chunky as well. I think it's somewhere around 285, although it's a while since I built and tuned this. Turn that off quickly. Whoa! I slightly messed up. Okay, this is the third time I'm trying this, and I'm giving it kind of another try because I've basically been stupid with the power before. It has over 500 horsepower, and you need to be careful with that power. I mean, it's not fair on the car. I basically put it out of commission before it could even get one lap in, and I'm just not going to deal with that when, quite frankly, my car deserves at least a chance of one lap. But there are a few interesting workshop vehicles, so I'm going to be trying some of those today as well. I'll mainly be using automation cars on this series. I was originally thinking of mixing it with beam cars, but there's so many automation ones which are actually pretty good, so, you know, I don't have a particularly compelling reason unless there is an exception which I will make, like maybe some people will want to see a certain car and then I can take it and ow. That was just brutal, but again, this is fully lowered, I must mention, and it weighs 1700 kilos. It is not the ideal off-roading kind of car. You can probably hear, I don't know what's happening there. I think I might have gone with open differentials. Oh, that's odd. I lifted off and it actually moved forwards. Come on, now can we actually find a way back onto the course? If we can do that, then we can resume, because it looks like my steering and everything is still intact this time. Amazingly, just looking at the state of that front end, worse has not been done. Come on. Come on, junior supercar, use your twin-turbo power. And I wouldn't call this a reincarnation of the Honda NSX by any case, but, you know, it's too heavy for that. I have got an interesting car planned ahead, though, that I think you guys will like. And I'm thinking of that already because I know I'm probably just going to crash it. You know, it'll get a lap at least. I know that even if it's a dreadful one. I'm just not being conservative enough. Slow it, slow it, slow it delicately, delicately, delicately. Am I still on the first lap? I'm going very inside for that corner. I mean, the thing is, the turbos are kicking in at reasonable enough RPM. They are not the problem. I mean, I do a decent amount of fair fine-tuning to make sure the turbos kick in. I just like the sound of them, though, I will admit. I like the sound when you hammer down the pedal and the turbo sound comes on. It does sound good, to me at least. The naturally aspirated version of the car didn't have that. It's a V6, by the way. I think I've mentioned a 3.8 litre, 3.7 rather V6. So, you know, it's not my preferred inline 6, but I just decided in this particular application where it's mounted transversely to get power to all wheels, it would be the more preferable driveline. And I think that crash has actually knocked my brain into order because now I'm actually able to manage it. And I'm using the paddles on my wheel as well because of the way you shift with this. You don't really use the H-gate shifter in the same way you do with other cars. That may also have thrown me off just a little. We're on to a third lap though. Now, just being careful as I do and not using all the power like a complete lunatic, I feel I'm able to get a good time out of this. It'll probably beat what we've had already because, well, one of them was a 60 horsepower sports car from the 1960s, and the other was an economy car from the 80s, a base model economy car at that. So for a reasonably high performance sports car, even a heavier one like this, it shouldn't be a problem trying to beat them. Come on. We do have the brakes and the tyre width to deal with the weight. It doesn't feel like that's a problem. If you turn ABS off though, as with the rear wheel drive version of these cars, it can become a nightmare due to that. They need ABS. They're not as reliant on ESC and traction control as you might think though. So that is definitely playing on my side. Oh, come on. I'm going to floor it here and just blindly hope. And 4:33, is that good? Oh, that's my total time, I think. Per lap, what have we done? A 1:12? Let's see how that compares. So, it's perhaps a less good time than I would have expected from this. I mean, remember it's a heavy vehicle, however, it is only just over a second quicker than the Legrand. I mean, sure, we expected it to be quicker, but to be that close, it's either very impressive on the Legrand's part or very depressing on this car's part. Hey, look at all those lights. I mean, it's a strange looking thing from a front. I think it looks like something from Burnout, personally. Maybe it's just that I've not spent as long designing it as I could have. Either way, it is the leader currently, but I think, honestly, some people will be able to beat me because this is not the best time. You know, as much as it's currently leading. On to the next vehicle. Here we have something which, for copyright reasons, is obviously not a Ford. Just turn to the side. It is something that is powered by a definitely not Volkswagen Audi Group engine, as you can see there. Because, yeah, copyright and stuff. And I will not mess up the launch for a second time, as I did. I didn't use a clutch there. I'm amazed, to be honest, I got away with it. Well, oh, come on. Down to first. I don't know what my mind did. It didn't use a clutch when it should have. Come on. I mean, maybe it's a sequential, which would, I guess, make sense. Come on. This is quite a twitchy little vehicle. Oh. It's quite a twitchy little vehicle, you know. It doesn't really go easy on you. But at the same time, that twitchiness does make it quite fun. Oh, come on. Just about managed to recover my correct direction with that. Come on, Turbo. You can do your job. You can make me faster. So, am I going there? Yes, I am. I don't know. I don't know what to say much. I'm trying to focus and I'm trying to speak. And I'm going to jump, so it makes it even harder. That jump is actually a lot more intimidating when you think about it. You just have to have a bit of a lift beforehand to actually get it to work in your side. Same with this corner here. If you don't think about it, it can be your worst enemy, but you start thinking about these things and suddenly they're not so bad on you. As I get a slide round there. Whoa. That had potential to go horrendously wrong. It just slides under brakes. That is where my main complaint is. I'd like it to be a little more predictable on that front because the actual handling is very good. But it's just when you brake, it does tend to slide. As I knocked the inside wheel. Whoa, come on. It does feel like it could be a rally car with the right tuning. I mean, I don't know how much power this is making exactly. I can't remember, but I think it's 218 or something horsepower. I probably misremembered. Sorry about that, but, you know, I reckon this could be the quickest car yet. Oh, come on. Keeping me engaged, that's for sure. Oh, come on. Yeah, you see, it's getting chucked about. It does feel like sports suspension. But there's nothing wrong with sports suspension when it's doing its job, other than my back. My back really complains. But, you know, it's doing its job. It wanted to tip over there. You know, just if I accelerated too fast, I'm pretty sure it would have tipped over, as it gets a bit squirrely under brakes, and I somehow just avoid a tree. I mean, I don't know how, because that tree was headed right for my car, but somehow things worked out. Oh. And why did I shift up at probably the worst point to shift up? Ask my brain. He might know, because I certainly don't. Oh, come on. Wants to tip again. I feel like I'm pushing this car about as much as a guy can push it on this course, which is a decent amount. It's reasonably well built, but it's not perfectly finely tuned. I can feel that. And yes, I go across the line upside down, and it is still my quickest lap time. How is that? But I saved almost 5 seconds, or approaching 5 seconds. And yes, by far is our quickest time. So, weight is proving to be quite a weapon, because 1 minute 6, and the next car down is a 1 minute 12, so we're at least 5 seconds ahead of that. I mean, it really is quite a weapon. I must say, I was not expecting it to be as quick as it was. I was expecting it to beat it by 3 seconds, maybe, max, but, you know, it works. Almost like the Ford badge lights up as well. I mean, the totally not Ford badge, because it's not. Yeah, still, our fastest car crossed the line upside down. I mean, I think that's something good we can say. So, here we have another interesting vehicle I've dug up. It is a replica of the Dodge Demon. I thought it would be quite interesting to see how it does. Narrow front tyres and extremely wide rear tyres. I mean, that is realistic since they are basically factory-built drag cars. You can't supercharge them in automation. But, you know, I'm sure they did their best to replicate the engine. Anyway, without further ado. Oh dear. I apparently don't know how to check if a car has a manual or an automatic first. Oh dear. This must be on semi-slicks. It does not feel happy on the dirt. Oh dear. Really? Like, I wasn't even in a high-speed crash, and we're already on our roof. I mean, what does that say for the safety features? I guess it is a bit of a demon, so the title didn't like. I just drove right into a tree. How couldn't I see that? That was right in front of me. Anyway, I'm going to have to try and find grip somehow. Thankfully, it looks like I've just lost some mirrors, and the actual drivability of the vehicle is fine, so I will try and drive it. You know, I don't think we will beat the definitely not Ford K, but we can give it a try. I'm going delicately around here. Maybe I can push it a bit more in later laps, but you saw what happened when I started pushing it. The legendary engine held back for perhaps less than legendary handling. Oh! It's slid there, just the slightest hint of anything that may potentially be power, and it's dangerous. Oh dear. Now I'm trying to kind of use both my hands to do things with the steering wheel, trying to find where the top of it is as well. Like, there's just a big silver line flying around and I couldn't see where it was, but amazingly I took the corner anyway. Come on. Oh. This way, this is where we go. Delicately. The thing is, it's easy to watch this and say I'm not pushing the car, but here it is very, very scary, and I am definitely pushing it. It's just, these tyres on this terrain have no grip, and then you combine that with having loads of power from the vehicle itself, and yeah, things can go wrong. Things can go on quite quickly. Yeah, and I've got to brake early there because, again, remember, no grip. So we can't brake late when there's no grip to help us brake late. My best option is just to casually and carefully go around these corners. the advantage of having all this power is at least it should have a good suspension system, and I should at least not get thrown about as much as a cheaper, smaller vehicle will get thrown about. So, round here we go, accelerate, just a hint of full throttle there, but not really a lot by any means. It's definitely smoother than my first lap. I'll say that now, it was definitely a lot smoother. So, onwards we trek. Come on. Oh, delicate, delicate. How we do it, delicate. Maybe I have gone a little insane. Can you blame me? I'm being bullied by a demon. Can you blame me for going insane? Along we go. Ooh. Don't want to accelerate too much over here. Delicate acceleration. Delicate is the word of the day, I think. Tapping the brakes, which I probably shouldn't do. I probably should be hammering them down to get any kind of performance. But you know, I think I found a way. Subconsciously, I think I know how to pilot my way down this course. Even if I don't actually know how to pilot my way down this course, I subconsciously think I know. Whoa, there you go. Whoa. Oh well. I did what I could. That's all I can say. Maybe I just pushed it a bit too far. Okay, so that's the direction we want to go in. Right, get onto the bonnet where we're in the correct view, and along we go. Apparently, my second lap, was a 2:22, and that was the best I did. I think that's kind of the best I'm going to get. My third lap could have maybe been quicker, but the second lap was pretty good. As far as these things go, I'm on semi-slicks, you know, in a drag car. How fast do you really expect to rally it? Oh. I mean, there's just no rear end grip, and rear end grip is a thing that's extremely crucial here on a rally stage. Even in rally drivers' drift styles, I would say, they need the rear end grip to actually drift properly. My perspective, at least. Either way, this would make it slower than Cedrick. Indeed. It's slower than a 60 horsepower front wheel drive from the 1960s. Because semi-slicks. But I know it might sound cliche, and understeer wasn't a problem, but blaming it on the semi-slicks is all I can do. Semi-slicks is a great scapegoat for just everything not quite working as I want it to work. So, you know, I will blame them. And indeed, with that being said, on to the next vehicle. So, I was looking around the Resprotory, and I found Big Joe's Concorde LS, where it's put a turbocharged V8 in the front instead of inline 4. So, again, let's hope I can control this thing. Now, for one thing I don't like is the headlights. I just feel they're not quite scaled properly, and the grille for that matter. I feel they could have done a bit better a job. Other than that, you know, it's a tidy enough design. No major complaints there. So, let's get ahead with it. So, go into first gear, or drive as it is. You know what? It drives a lot better than the Demon, but then it's probably not on semi-slicks, so yeah. What do you expect me to say? I'm going more delicately here than I have perhaps needed to, but it's just, after being used to that Demon and its complete inapproachability, having something which actually grips round corners, it's different. I mean, this may be all-wheel drive for all I know, which would be a complete revolution. I don't know for a fact it is, but all I know is it's a twin-turbo V8. Could make quite a bit of power. Oh, I was able to completely floor it there. For that kind of ability, it must be all-wheel drive. And along we go. It's not coping with the bumps badly at all. It's actually really good over the bumps. Probably the best vehicle we've had yet. Including the Leguan, I'd say it's beating it. Maybe that's just due to sheer weight, but I honestly don't know. It is a longitudinally mounted engine, I could tell that much. Oh, come on. And I don't reckon it's going to beat the Totally Not Ford, but you know, we can give it a bit of hope and good spirits, if you see what I mean. On to the second lap. It was a 1:21 there. That's a lot slower than I would have thought. The best lap for the Demon was only ever so slightly slower than that. Ooh, I had a nasty knock on the front end there. Again, I think thankfully it's just cosmetic on the very front left corner, so we'll get away with it. You know, let's just say it happened in the previous Soccer Mom life that this van had lived. Or minivan, I guess, as it technically is. I got quite good around those corners. Could this be a good lap? Totally. But I don't know if I'm able to push this vehicle enough. I was doing some weird, goofy things with the steering wheel there just to keep it under control. Which I can do. I am able to keep this under control. It's not beyond my control like some vehicles do feel they are on this terrain. It's just... it's getting it right in such a way that I can extract true, genuine speed. I mean, maybe it's just not a very powerful twin turbo V8. It could make only 300 horsepower for all I know, which then, no surprise, it's beating the Demon for grip. Oh, come on. I'm going far too much to the left from that jump for the second time, or I was, and just into here. Oh, come on. I'm running wide. Oh, that was so wide. I think I just about managed to pull it through though, and a 1:16 isn't too bad, but it's still behind Cedrick. I want this to beat Cedrick. That is my new target. If this can't beat Cedrick, I will be most disappointed in it. And it did just stabilise itself though back there. Again, I'm pretty sure that is the result of having an all-wheel drive system, because it will get the tail out a bit, but as long as it's only a bit and no more than a bit, it will stabilise itself, and that is fine. Come on, oh. Yeah, I just lifted off there because it was going to the right into that rock face, and the only thing I could really do was ride it out, even if it does slow me down a little. I feel this lap may not be particularly quick, but I could be wrong, and I am actually hoping I am wrong, because if I am quick on this lap, I could very well have beaten Cedrick. Right, if I go to the inside, and then accelerate. Come on. It was slower. Yeah, just that first corner, I think, and then maybe just going a bit too fancy on the end. It is our second slowest vehicle. So, you know, we've beaten the Dodge Demon, but that's not much of an achievement because that was on semi-slicks, and we know how much they hate this terrain by this point. So, there we go. Turbo on the side. If I could just zoom in on that. Yeah. I do like this vehicle, though. I'll say that much. It was a lovely, lovely thing to drive. And it didn't feel hideously slow. It just was hideously slow. Anyway, with that being said and done, on to the next vehicle. So, as I do always like 1950s American cars, it is good to see one here. The Gavril Cruiser, in this case, was it? And I just totally forgot how to use the headlights. There we go, and this will be a manual, you know. It's either that or an auto. And this will get going. Off we go. Come on. Ooh, quite a drop there. It has a locking differential, oddly. I won't be using that because, you know, I'll only... unless it gets stuck, maybe I'll use it then, but it's only in that kind of case I would need it. Especially in a rear-wheel drive car like this probably is. Ooh. I mean, the good thing about the cars like this is, at least if it's built true to its era, it will have very, very soft suspension as I get an epical power slide up. I mean, it's just no grip, but it's kind of fun. It's only got 200 horsepower, by the way, which is not a lot, but I think it's enough. I mean, it's a few horsepower down on what the Definitely Not Ford K had, remember, and that did well. My only issue is, it's sliding. I don't know if this is on semi-slicks, probably not, but I certainly hope it's not for sure, but it does like to slide, that's for sure. Just keep the RPMs at steady pace and we can get going. Down we go, yes, second gear, into third, down to second. Again, it wants to slide and I have to counter that. Oh. Right, now before the second lap begins, I want to just make sure my car's okay. Oh, that was so lucky on my part. Right, where's reverse gear? There it is. I can operate a transmission, honestly. That was so lucky because, look, I think it got thrown into a tree, but it got thrown into a tree back here. Oh, where's the button? My wheels turn, so it's harder to tell. Got thrown into a tree there, so that would make it thrown into a tree, but not in a location where it would hit the actual driveline components. Come on. This is a slower leading on to the lap though because of that crash, but you know, I can deal with it. Well, it does seem to slide under braking just a bit and then it slides under acceleration a bit. I don't know why, maybe drifters love these, but so, I certainly don't love them. I mean, it makes it easier to drive, I guess, in terms of turning circle, but it won't make it easier to drive in terms of not flying into a tree. And there we go. I was basically doing some off-roading. It's a shame because the suspension is lovely, but I just can't use that lovely suspension. The Not Ford had kind of sportier, harder suspension, but I could get by with that because it was just so good in terms of how it got round the corners. So I could deal with the other problems of the vehicle and ultimately come up with a better time. Come on. Whoa. Yes, yes, yes. I think I've got it. I think I've got it. If I can get this line in. Yes. Excellent. And then it's going sliding again. Sliding again. Oh dear. I'm sorry. I promise you I'll get a good third lap. But oops. I went into reverse and I kind of didn't realise what was going on with the gears there. Even though I had shifted into reverse, which was kind of stupid on my part. First lap was only a 2:11. It was a disaster, yes indeed. I mean, this car's getting a lot of screen time just because I'm messing up. Well, no, 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 no. I won't let it happen. I said I promise, why? Come on. I don't know, I just can't manage this car. I mean, older cars are more difficult to drive. I can't manage it, I'm sorry. Come on. So, I'm pretty sure I can set a better time than my previous 2 laps, but that's all I can get. Come on. It does sound good, mind. Gentle, gentle. I'm going gentler now and it's working. It's working wonders. If only I'd done this before. I think what was happening before, maybe instead of going gentler, I was going more aggressive. But more aggressive in this car, it just gets you into a crash. You can't go quicker by being more aggressive, but for some reason it wouldn't register in my mind that way. You know, I mean, I'm surprised the car is engineered as it is. Because if it was engineered a little better, it would slide a bit less, but still slide a little, if that makes sense. So again, this is our new slowest car. It's just too slidey. This is our new slowest car. It's just too slidey, really. And there's nothing I can do to save it by this point. I tried my best. I'm not the best driver in the world, though, so mistakes are made, the car gets crashed, and my best attempts to save that crash would do nothing. I mean, just look at it, though. I think it's double wishbone front, but then it's only got leaf springs on the rear. Leaf springs versus all this independent suspension business that's been going on. It's not going to help it. And then the fact that it's only got 200 horsepower to cause these slides. It's not like it's causing them as a result of having too much power. So, yeah, it's just more difficult than it needs to be. Anyway, I guess it's time to be moving on to our final vehicle. So, I found myself looking up Audi, and the only thing oddly on the Resprotory that came up was the Audis Quattro S1, but either way, I mean, it is essentially an Audi Quattro, so, you know, it should make a good rally car, and it should bring the fight up to the higher parts of a leaderboard, which is really where I want to bring it, because other cars have been fighting for a while down at the bottom. They've been kind of fighting for the worst, slowest car, but we want something that can actually fight for the best place, so I think this is something that could be with a chance. It's got an inline 5, as you can see. Without further ado, I mean, we should really get going. Just listen to that sound, it's so good. 1, go. Okay, this has a sequential shifter. I originally thought it had a manual and just launched it. That's like would any other old car, and that was my mistake. I mean, it did say it was a cross between a rally and a road version of a car, so, you know, I'm not sure what exactly that implies, but a road legal rally variant, I don't know. But it is quite powerful, might I say, and it has all-wheel drive, so that's why I think this is going to be good. Whoa. 335 horsepower, and it's probably on off-road tyres, actually. Again, being a rally-derived vehicle, which is another reason I think this may very well bring the 5 back where it belongs. Because the fact that a hot hatchback is followed by a junior supercar in leading kind of an off-road time trial event, it just doesn't feel right. I feel even if it's an older rally car, we need some kind of rally machinery in there to just balance things out, you know, show them who's on top. That's an odd way to land a jump. Didn't anyone teach her how to be a rally car? That's it. Thrown away the second lap now. Don't worry, third lap will be good because this car is just so easy to drive, I can feel it. It doesn't feel like it's steering straight, though. Oh well, it's not off enough. Come on. Maybe it's just loose steering. I can't figure. Gentle, gentle. Floor it, floor it, floor it. Slow it, slow it, slow it. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Full lock to the right. Full lock to the right was just about enough. Yeah, I think there is a steering bias to the left, but that's fine. I actually feel like a rally co-driver when I'm driving this. It righted itself. That is impressive. I thought I was going to have to right the car myself, sorry. So, you know, the fact that it did the work for me, well, I'm grateful for that. I need to not do anything stupid here, because this is how the time I'm looking for is lost. Now floor it. What did I just say? I need to not do anything stupid. No, I was able to floor it there though without any major concerns, and so I did. Oh, come on, come on. Yeah, I've got to remember to be gentle. This is still a lot of power for what is a very tight winding course, and yes, I mastered that corner, I think, personally, although others may disagree. And round here we go. full lock there, again to the right. But it's fine, even if the steering is off, the wheel's moving so much, I don't really care for the centre anymore. Come on. Yes, yes, find your way. Find your main way you want to go. Come on. Slow it to first gear. And I'm just trying to get through these sections without too much speed, actually, because if I try and get too much speed, it would go wrong in my face. Oh, I had the brakes lock up there, I think, but we're across the line. And that was another legendary finish, like the not Ford. So, yeah. At 1 minute 10, it's actually very similar to the first lap. However, we have a second fastest time now. It has beaten my junior supercars, but it's still below the not Ford. I mean, I don't know about that vehicle, seriously, because that must have been a complete monster. Yeah, you'll see there is steering damage, as I suspected, but it's just a little bit of alignment. It's nothing that would majorly put the car out of commission. We have bent up metal work and stuff, but it's fine, you know. It's not the most mission critical problem in the world. We were still able to get done what needed to be done and move on. But yeah, I can say, download this vehicle. It is brilliant, far more than I expected it to be. So, go on. Until next time, goodbye. Until another day.